You know what it is. It's Black Opinions Matter. It used to be Mondays. Now the M stands for motherfucker. My name's Amin Hassan. That's Blk Tray. That's John Gervais. Rob Lopez is on production. B will be joining us a little later to not only recap and review P-Valley with us, but also give us an exclusive behind-the-scenes account of what happened during the Rick Ross 2 Chainz versus battle. That's right, she was there, and she's got all the details. We'll get to that a little bit later, but we're going to start with a TV show that we told you last week to start watching. I know we told you that, and yet I, stupidly, waited too long, and so only watched 2 episodes of the No Limit Chronicles, which is basically a docuseries about how No Limit Records and Master P started. The interesting thing about it is the way it's shot. It's, as Trey said, it's kind of like First 48, where the actual participants are telling you, then this happened, that happened, and then you get some like reenactment actors, you know, miming the stuff out. And then I threw the money in the air, and the guy throws the money in the air or whatever. Which is, at first I was like, that sounds kind of corny, and now as I'm watching, I'm like, it actually works really well. Because none of the reenactment actors ever actually talk. You don't have to hear them. I like hearing the original people's voices. And so from that aspect, it's very well done. The other observation I have is that, and Trey, you warned me of this, but it still kind of took me aback. It's definitely informative and very interesting, and definitely executive produced by Master P, because oh boy, man. This is worse than Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton, remember they were like superheroes? Like everything Dr. Dre and Ice Cube did was amazing. And who fucked up? It was all Eazy's fault. Oh, okay. Like it's the same thing here. It's like, they're just incredible. And they told Suge Knight to go fuck himself. I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of feeling some of this is a little Stretch Armstrong, but you get to do that when you're the executive producer. So before we get into details, let me ask y'all, so Trey, first impressions of this docuseries.
Oh, I loved it. It took me back to my preteen, teenager days, where I spent all my, allowance on these CDs, just because, you know, I was just all in and not, you know, back then, obviously, we had to open up and peel the seal, and we didn't know what actual tracks was, but like getting the behind the scenes of how they put out so much music, how many tracks had to be, like, this dude didn't allow no one to have under 21 tracks. That's crazy when you think about that. And then also, guys weren't even getting a chance to listen to the music. They were just rotating to different rooms and recording a song. Like, okay, there's a beat, hop on that. Okay, you just finished that song, go over there. There's no time to listen to it. We'll mix it and record it later. And we're getting them out. And I think, you know, obviously, we can go back to the beginning of the story. I thought it was really interesting, like you said. It feels like, obviously, you can tell Master P was the executive producer because it was heavy driven by him, his story as far as like living in the house with his grandparents and his grandparent dying, you know, because of the hospital, kind of giving him the wrong medicine and stuff like that. And then obviously all these type of situations where he becomes the man of the house, he's trying to sell drugs, he's selling drugs with Romeo, he tears his ACL at U of H, you know.
There's a lot of the stuff is kind of like, I just definitely a lot of Stretch Armstrong going around. What was the first Master P song you had ever heard?
West Coast Bad Boys, actually.
For real?
My uncle went to school in Fresno, and he brought home like the first time I've ever heard the Click, E40, all that. But he brought home West Coast Bad Boys 2, and that I never heard the first one until like I went back and started downloading the music later on down the line. But overall, like they had this one song that was really fire. It features some universal artists. You know what I mean? He had, by that time, he was on mixed in with Priority, and he can get whoever he wants.
Right.
But it was some good music. I can't really think of the song that I really liked on there, but that was the first time I heard him. Mm-hmm. And then Ghetto Dope, Ghetto D was like,
oh, that was
Ghetto D just like, first of all, like, made crack like this. Soon as the shit's made crack like this. And I heard that, and then dun 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 dun.
Yeah, the old Eric beat, or Eric beat and Rakim
and
beat.
then, and like you said, like obviously we get on the mumble rappers, but Master P wasn't really saying shit, but it was just dope ass. Beats by the Pound just made the beat so hard that like regardless of what niggas was saying, like we was just rolling. And the idea that he can roll out 23 albums, Jerv retweeted me on this, but I like to think that I was responsible for buying like 18 of them shits. And then I also found out on Twitter that Mercedes actually really did put out her album. I never had it, but I did love her album cover.
Jerv, what was the first Masterpiece song you heard?
I want to say it was Bout It, Bout It.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's either Bout It or Crack Like This. Like,
wow.
I just... Like, whichever one of those came out first, that's the first one I heard.
Bout It was way before.
Okay, all right, then Trey just
yeah.
said it, so it makes, because I love that song. Like, the song was crazy. But Bout It was probably definitely the first one. I was like heavy. I was heavy into No Limit.
Really?
Yeah. I had an old head that was he like listened to all the No Limit. So, you know, he was the kid. We were always one of his crib. We play video games. He play all the stuff. And then that time it was a lot of used CD stores. And we would just go in there and just buy like just anything No Limit, like $5, $3. People would get them and take them back. Like I had Mac, Magic, Cain and Abel, Silk the Shocker.
Skulldugger.
Yeah, no, bro, Trey, I think I said it. I think
Young Bleed.
I probably had about right around Trey. I think I had like 18
I'm mad Young
out of those
Bleed
23.
wasn't a part of that, you know, because
What? Young Bleed. Well, he came later.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, like again, I don't think it's going to be certain guys that's just not going to make the, you know, because
not everybody.
Right.
Big Ed, like it's a lot of cats in there that was just kind of sneaking in, and I thought they were just the most fire cats. Like it'll be like he would drop the same No Limit song on everybody's album, then they get their own version of the No Limit Soldier. I thought I told you. And Longest Mystical had a feature on there. I was pressing play.
So here's the first song I heard was Bout It, but I remember saying like, who the hell is this? And they were like, oh, you don't know P? He's the Ice Cream Man. And then I heard Ice Cream Man, which of course came before that. And I was like, this nigga's trash. Like I just couldn't understand. And then like I saw the album covers and I'm like, did they do this shit like on a computer like me? Like I was that dude. I was Mr. New York. So I was just like, this is trash. When Ghetto Dope came out, I was so upset. Like, Eric B. and Rakim, that is like a sacred beat. You took it and you just like jumbled any old which way, just yelling on the track. I'm like, this is not, I was that dude. I was what Jerv is right now to new music. I was doing that to everything No Limit. Like, to me, I just felt like, and it's funny because in this first couple of episodes, it becomes apparent everything that I thought they were doing is exactly what they were doing. It's going to just cut a record, doesn't matter. Like there was no, but what I didn't appreciate at the time that I appreciate now is that in a weird way, he was gaming the system. Like he understood because he's getting 80% on every sale. It doesn't have to be good. We just got to keep putting out numbers. And as long as the numbers are moving, I'm getting 80% of that, so it's no problem. And like the idea, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna pick 12 tracks, and this one didn't make the album is irrelevant. It was a volume business, and he really grasped that probably better than anybody at the time, especially people at the label. But by the way, sidebar: one of the things that I noticed when I was watching this, because I always watch with captions on, BET has the worst closed captioning in the world. Like I'm convinced the people doing this. are not black, do not listen to hip hop or anything. These are some of the mistakes they made. When they're playing, we No Limit Soldiers, I thought I told you. The caption said, long live the soldier.
There you go.
When they were talking about artists.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's right to me. Long live Master P.
when they were asking about, or they're talking about artists that he signed. We signed so-and-so, we signed so-and-so, we signed Fiend. They wrote Beans.
Wow.
I mean, can't hear, man.
And that...
Don't disrespect Fiend. Fiend was nice.
The womp-womp.
Favorite one, and by favorite, I mean I wanted to smash my TV, where they were talking about the rise of Southern hip-hop. They talk about Outkast, they talk about so-and-so, they talk about Goody Mob. And they played, Who's That Creeping in My Window? Blow. Nobody Now, because the song is about like shooting out the person who is creeping outside the window. They wrote, wow, what a party now. I was like, come on, man. Like none of this is ringing a bell for you guys. We just gonna write it. We don't write anything, huh? We just gonna write whatever we want to write. There were some other ones, but I thought those are the most egregious. But yeah, man, I wasn't a fan, man, at first. And then what happened was, it was weird. I was in either New York or DC. And when I was out there at a party, they played a song. And like, I remember seeing like a bunch of like the East Coast guys like, yo, what is this? And I saw the girls like dancing, and I was like, I'm the colonel of the we got the lyrics. I had every single lyric memorized, man. Because, hey, man, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, I don't have to respect this man lyrically. I can just go out there and have a good-ass time, man.
Yeah. So one part, and I don't know if you got the chance to see it yet, but him opening up for Tupac, and they was calling him a country singer. I thought that was very hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that about that. I didn't know that he I didn't know that he was on the Pac tour.
So
not the Pac tour, but he opened for Pac. I didn't realize how much he said Richmond, California in his songs, and it actually meant like, you know what I mean? I didn't realize
Richmond, Virginia
aspect of
so back in the
I probably thought it was Richmond, some Richmond in like Louisiana that I just never did.
Yo, so real talk, back in like in 97 and 98 or whatever, he used to always talk about Pac, and Pac's my guy. And we thought like, all right, dude, like because he's the master marketer, right? I'll never forget this. My roommate, Ken, my buddy Ken, he's from Georgia. He was a big Master P fan. And Ken was the one that told me, this dude gets it because listen to every song. He shouts out every city and state in America. And so he said, everybody all over the country, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's us. And I was like, that's just corny. But he was right. It was like that whole, the Young Bleed song. How they do that there? Texas, Mississippi, man, we don't care. Detroit, Alabama, like he just naming places. But what it made it do is it made everybody co-opt the song because they were waiting for their place to get shouted out. Kind of like that mixtape, he said, the West Coast Bad Boys or whatever. Because
after West Coast Bad Boys, he ended up doing the Down South one.
Yeah.
And he found out how to branch out regionally. And that was a thing too. He said during those Pac tours, he didn't have too many Tupac stories because he was out there trying to sell his tapes, you know, outside the shows, you know what I mean? And it could be in Nashville. He was going to the hoods and flipping it and pretty much trying to sell it just like audio dope.
Yo, is he the original? Cause you know, I feel like we always praise Baby for maybe not.
He's the original what?
Like the 80-20 dude or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Cause you not coming in and taking the like the bread, like kind of working the system in his favor, not going independent, but at the same time, like he, you know what I mean? He didn't let the record companies use him. He used the record
Michael
companies.
Jackson.
I feel like he's
nigga. Michael Jackson.
I'm sorry.
You talking about
I
rap?
meant more. I meant like in hip hop.
Yeah, it was probably him. Because that's the same thing. That's why LL got his beef with Hove, because Hove got 100%. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
we got.
I'm just saying that was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, look, bro, dude, homie was like, I've been putting it on, y'all don't know, and then you know Hove came in, just getting the distribution deal. Like, look, I don't know if it was the steps of P, but P definitely was doing something that a lot of people wasn't doing, and that's the thing. He probably one of the best businessmen in hip hop of all time.
Hands down.
Now, when you talk about quality of music, when you talk about strategies, and yes, he probably gambled a lot on a lot of shit, but he opened the door for niggas to do clothes, to niggas to do shoes, to do
merchandise.
The nigga had an action figure doll, nigga.
Yeah, from a business standpoint.
I remember laughing at all this shit though back then.
No, I mean it was corny, but it sold. It all sold, and that was the thing. Like for me, I often think like,
how old were y'all? You were in this era.
I was in college. Like I was a freshman in college.
So think about me being 12, 13 and just being wide open off of that. You feel me?
I was in high school.
Like I'm like, I gotta have it. Master P. I want a No Limit jersey. You feel me? Like I was geeking like that because obviously Mystical was the world, bro. To me, like that's my all-time favorite artist.
Like Mystical was, and I haven't reached the point where they talk about signing Mystical yet. In the episodes I'm watching,
it's one of the greatest signings.
But it's like that's like that's what it's like when they got talent, right? Mm-hmm. Like all these other dudes, like his brothers weren't rappers. Like there's a line in there where Silk the Shocker says, "I didn't."
C Murder was cool.
Silk the Shocker said,
"It took 7 years for C Murder to drop his first album."
Right. So Silk said, "I didn't want to be a rapper per se," and I put, "No shit, Silk," because the nigga had no rhythm. I love the strawberries and moets. Like,
he's the first mumble rapper.
Oh, I mean, he was,
but he wasn't even mumbling. He was just extremely offbeat,
like crazy.
Silk never
That's fair,
beat.
So the crazy thing was, it's like Silk can rap. C Murder was like, as long as it was this basic kind of like, let's not put too much complexity with the flow or the lyrics. He was passable, right? Mia X was good.
She could actually rap.
She could rap. But it's every time I hear her name, I remember my homie Slime. He once called a girl Mia XXL, and I bust out laughing so hard.
That's kind of rude.
But it's one of the all-time great topical jokes you get. Like, this is at the height of No Limit. He called some girl like, "Man, shut up, Mia XXL," and I was dying, man. It was just because it never. I don't know, man. It's when you're young, sometimes these jokes sound brand new. I was like, that was the first time I heard that joke, so I was like, I was impressed.
Did y'all like Fiend?
Yeah, I was a Fiend guy.
I fuck.
But again,
I
like all Fiend. These rollouts were so late when guys really started to get their like individual stuff. We got Mystical. Mystical had another album before he joined.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Mystical
obviously
perform on Soul Train.
He had his first little album with Jive, and then P got him off Jive, and then after that, but like he was just like, I guess a hot wire guy, and that's one thing I liked about Master P, at least. You know what I mean? From what I can get from 2020 is like, look, I can help you, but ain't nobody tell you to go fight. Ain't nobody tell you to go do all that shit.
Yeah.
You spending your money, you gotta spend your own money.
Who do you think is the person who feels the sickest out of all of this?
The homie that he left. Oh boy,
Which
with
one?
the cane.
The boy with the eye? The messed up eye?
No, not Skullduggery.
Oh, not the cane.
The nigga with the cane, his homie from back in the day. Trying to be thirsty. Don't do no side deals.
I'm gonna tell you who's got to be sicker than him. My man, the business manager.
Oh yeah,
the nerdy dude.
He played himself.
Like, bro, you could have just sat back and like, he would have made millions. He would have literally made millions. Also, I didn't know that that whole thing with Cash Money.
Yeah, but see, and that's the thing. Before we even talked about this, I went back and watched Mystical's Drink Champ, and I watched Master P's Drink Champ and his Breakfast Club, and it was just like, out of respect to Baby, they already had their own situation going because they had BG signed and a couple other people signed to them, but they wasn't, obviously they wasn't, they didn't have a distribution deal like Pete. So Pete was just like, when they were asking, Charlamagne and them asked him about, why did you get up and leave like that in the, in the movie, in the documentary, and he's just like, I didn't want to waste some people's time. Like I already knew what type of, it wouldn't have made me no better. It wouldn't have made me no better signing them on or whatever, because they had different views and they were from different sets. Like they really didn't get along, but they was like at least trying to make it work. You feel me?
Well, it was because it was clear if you want to be in No Limit, you had to be you had to do it their way, and they wanted to do things their way and just like get the distribution. They wanted a straight, just kind of like don't ask us questions, just help us get our music out there. So I respect that he I always say a quick no is way better than like is the next best thing after a yes, is a quick no, because like, don't waste anybody's time, man. Let us move on. And I think it worked out ultimately for everybody. What do you guys think is the biggest lie so far?
The biggest lie has to be, I'm gonna say, it has to be the basketball shit, bro.
Oh, bro. His AAU coach said 30 and 12. I was like, there's no fucking way in God's green earth.
I'm not mad at the stats. My thing was that he was saying he would have got a 1-year deal with Toronto. I just don't see it.
Well, I haven't gone to that part yet. I'm talking about like his original basketball stuff.
Well, I mean, but it's no real spoiler alert. It's no real spoiler alert because we know how that actually really happened out. But he just really kind of capped out saying, "Oh, if this wouldn't have happened with T-Mac's agent, I would have got to stay on the team." And it's like, look, I understand the extra politics of it, but nigga,
this is what I'm gonna say.
Tell your story, Amin, about a Master P, bro, please.
Oh man, like I went to the game, and I went to one of the games where he was playing in the preseason game, and like he was trash. Like just every time he touched it, he tried to do something with it. He didn't make a single shot. So finally, like, you know, because he just putting his head down, barrel into the basket, he drew a foul, goes to the free throw line. He hits the first free throw, step back off the free throw line, and like waved his hands in the air and like yo to the crowd. And I was like, that's how I know you ain't a real
So
hooper.
they actually show that where
do
were you at the NBA preseason?
I was at the NBA preseason.
Yeah. So he makes the free throw and he's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm thinking that's from like a different thing, like he going off. You feel me?
No,
I didn't know that he was really struggling that game.
That was I think if I'm not mistaken, he missed the second free throw. But like, it was just like, to me, that's how I knew that day. Obviously, from watching him play, like, yo, buddy's trash. But like when he hit that shot, that's how I knew he knows he's trash. He knows he's living out of fantasy, right? Because a real hooper wouldn't do that. A real hooper would be like, fuck, about time. All right, let's get this thing going, get some easy buckets or whatever. My man was celebrating hitting a free throw in a preseason game. I'm like, nah, man. But having said all that, Tray, he might have made the team because people forget this was Toronto before it was hot. So like they had a problem selling tickets, and Master P was like that. So like the idea of like having your 15th man never play, just hang out with the team and draw ticket sales, that's a big thing. It's kind of like Romeo being on SC. On SC, he wasn't good.
Yeah.
But there were benefits that came along with having Romeo Miller on your roster. Benefits that ultimately sank the whole program.
Listen, I don't think they're ever gonna include it. But Romeo used to start over Brandon in AAU. That's sick. That's a sick dad, man, to have your son start. Like,
B was coaching that squad?
Huh?
P was coaching that squad?
Yeah, P Miller All-Stars. They had DeMar. They had a stacked ass team, dog.
No,
they was solid.
But he was, like I said, he was truly like, it was no confusion. His whole thing was about like, how we gonna push our shit. Not about like what's best for the player, not about what's best for reality, like what's best for us, man. So like I'm not mad at it. I just understood it in a way that I think people don't understand. But I'm still going back to, he said he went to Houston on a scholarship and then he tore his ACL and then they cut him. And I said, first of all, that's not how that shit happened. That's not how it works. Second of all, isn't it amazing? They got all these pictures of him from when he was like 3 years old all the way to Richmond. But they don't have a single picture of that first day of the team photo on media day where everybody wears their jersey, and they didn't come find that one, huh? They couldn't find that one. Couldn't find one of him at practice.
Nah, they got lost in the shuffle.
Amazing how that happens. But
hey man,
do y'all believe that Shook? There's no way that Shook shit went down like that.
There's no way. When y'all moving?
Yeah.
Tray?
I mean, but he was getting that off when Shook was out though.
No, like I'm sorry. I meant more so. There's no way he walked up into the jail wrote numbers down, and the Suge was just like, all right, cool. Like there had to be
no. Because I mean, that's how they got Pac out, bro. They did it over a napkin, nigga.
No. I believe that's how Suge got Pac out. I'm saying I don't believe Master P, and I believe P was in the mix. I believe P was, whatever. But I just don't think at that time
you don't think he was signing up $3 million on a wire to get him out? You crazy, boy.
No. I'm saying I don't think the negotiation shit was just as smooth as him going.
I'm just
being like, all right,
he rejected
cool.
it the first time though, and then he offered $3 million for Master P, and the rights to fucking Snoop Doggy Dogg, and a percentage of that next album that was coming out, like 25%. So he crooked it.
That's a great deal.
And that was the only thing. The reason why he did it, it was a crazy deal because it was to save Death Row, so he had to do it. Like, right. I'm pretty sure if he wasn't down bad, he probably wouldn't have took that deal. But the thing is Snoop was absolutely broke. Like, he had nothing to his name, and I'm pretty sure he didn't know how the record business went. But when he came to Master P, he didn't have shit. So Master P gave him a house, a car, and he said he did a verse for Master P for $3,500, and Master P gave him $35,000.
Yo, but hold on. You know how crazy it is for Snoop to say he had never seen $1 million until he signed on No Limit. You talking about Chronic, Doggy Style, Murder Was the Case. And,
I mean, like, damn. How is that wild when you know how record labels do niggas all the time?
But
because
still, though.
Because back then, I'm saying back then, you so thirsty to get a deal that you just signing whatever because you thinking like, okay. And that's why Straight Outta Compton, they was pulling up on Easy. Easy got the fat house. And niggas like, hey, man, what you doing? Him and Jerry Heller had some shit going.
It's funny because Master P is basically Easy.
Pretty much.
All the things that people kill.
Y'all think he was Easy?
Well, this is the thing. No, he was paying guys. But the thing was, because that's the thing. He said nobody owes him and everybody's good. But how he did it to smooth things over, he had the real estate business. So I'm pretty sure how he was funneling that was like getting the guys to buy the house through him, getting the cars through him. And it was all circling back that like, if you getting that, when they was doing the MTV Cribs rollout in Baton Rouge, like you looking at it in a scenario of like, damn, all these dudes got houses. And in Louisiana, I don't know how much the Louisiana income and stuff is, if it's dirt cheap or not, like, other states. But these dudes had like crazy square footage. They're living in a country club. Everybody wanted a tank. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody happy. But then you go look, that's what they said when they looked at his net worth. He was worth $55 million.
Bro.
That first rollout, like 1998.
He's giving them $100,000 in cash, a house and a car and a Rolex. Grand total is probably costing like about $300,000 for artists, right? Yeah. And he's only with $55 million, man. Look, I'm not mad at it. It's pretty smart, but at the same time, it's just like, yo, it's crazy how people think of Easy negatively in that way. But we're going to sit here and call Master P.
3 words.
R.I.P.?
No, 3 words. You sick. That's not words, by the way, but yeah. Smarten up, Nas.
Yeah.
Smarten up, Nas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But for those guys, there was no. And I think that's the advantage of artists today and everybody today is that people are aware of these things, right? In a way that those people never knew. They couldn't have known. And the ones that kind of had an idea, my man from Richmond and the nerd business manager. They had the idea, and the moment P saw that they had the idea, he cut them out. Right? Like, that's the crazy thing. It's like you can't even explore shit on your own. Right? He made it so that you either down for this cause or you're not with it at all. All right, let's move along. All right, but we're gonna talk about P Valley. We're gonna talk about that Rick Ross 2 Chainz versus battle in a second. But first, I want to talk about this tweet thread that had the internet by storm. Now, Jerv knows about it. Tray and the lovely B, who has joined us now, do not know about it. So here it is, a Cliff Notes version. Mother walks into, they have a 20-year-old son who's been staying with them during the coronavirus outbreak in the house, right? Kid leaves the house. Mother's cleaning the room. Finds literally like $100,000. Just stacks and stacks of cash. Mother tells her dad. Dad and mom confront the kid. Where'd you get this money? He won't say. Where'd you get this? Is it drugs? It's not drugs. Where you get this? There's no way it's not drugs. Father says, I'm going to call the cops unless you tell me where you got this money. And the 20-year-old son reveals that early on during the COVID, he was at a restaurant and he met an older lady. And the older lady asked him if he had COVID or not. He said no. He tested negative. And basically, long story short, her and her homegirls have been paying him for some COVID-free dick. And he's been doing that from March to August. And he's stacked 6 figures doing that.
$5K a shot.
$5K a pop. Like,
what a slut. What a slut.
But here's the crazy.
Sign me up.
Selling his body.
Sign me up.
Selling his
for the
body.
100.
Come on.
Hey, for the 100.
For 5 months?
100 in a couple months.
What a whore.
And I'm busting nuts too. I don't know about y'all. I have not had any consensual nuts like in the time of COVID. So like this seems like a win-win to me. Now here's the wild part. The mom is making him give the money back.
Nah.
And so I ask you all.
She's easily the worst mom ever since the mother from Blow.
He might as well just move out. You got 100K to your name, fam. Go get a place.
Yeah, I know what everyone's thinking. Would you make your child give the money back? That's not my question. My question is, if you're 20 years old with $100,000, you let your mama tell you what to do with it? Are you kidding? Come
Hell
on, man.
nah.
I'm shaving that off the top. Let me get a percentage, dog.
I give you some points, ma.
We like,
We ain't putting it in the bank or none of that. We just gonna shave it off the top a little bit. Let me get 20 of that. Take that 80 and gone, little dog.
I don't.
And I hope that you strapped up, or go see WebMD virtually and show them your thing. See if you got something.
I'm just like, I cannot believe that there's that much business out there. 5K? I feel like, yo,
I got in the wrong business, dog.
I feel like
I got in the wrong business.
Hey, Trey, I feel like Snoop. She said 5. I said $500 cool. And she said, no, 5,000. What? Sign me up.
wow. Oh, that's sick.
That is sick.
Hey, man.
Oh, that's sick. I ain't mad at it. He a hoe, though.
Hey, you know what?
Nah, but listen, why are we shaming sex workers? He a sex worker.
I'm not. No, and I'm only saying that because if this was a woman, she would be labeled as a hooker. So
I'm not calling her hooker.
I want to keep that same energy when guys.
But listen, what I say, B, before. Let the women have fun. OnlyFans, selling pussy. I don't care.
Look,
do your thing.
I'm gonna say this now.
And you might get a ring out of this at the end of the day.
Selling your body is selling your body, but at least you get
it's the oldest business in the book.
At least you're getting a fair price for it. Like most of the time, we know like selling their body, people are doing it for like $20 and stuff. Like they're hard up and their backs against the wall. They're being exploited.
I
right?
be seeing some sick cash out prices on the net.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some exploitation going on. In this case, though, I think we can all safely say that ain't exploitation.
Nah, I fucks with it. It's just, I just try to keep that same energy. I know we're going to talk about.
Well,
we might talk about, Cardi and Megan and their song.
Yes.
And, they're talking about, you're not out here having sex for free.
Let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about it right now.
Okay.
So Jerv hadn't watched it until moments before we started recording this pod. And I told Jerv, I said, you ain't watching? He's like, no, I don't feel like I don't want to watch it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you know what it is? Yo, so B, I told the guys earlier, I didn't know what it was. Somebody, I was DMing with someone and they made a joke about WAP. And I said, what's WAP? I had no idea. And they said, wet ass pussy. And I'm like, oh, I've never heard that acronym before. And they said, no, it's a song. And so I said, and it's Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion. I was like, I'd better investigate for cultural purposes. So I watched it about 200-300 times. And afterward, I took a shower. And no, it's just like, it's one of those, it's funny because the friend I was talking to told me about it. She's got a kid, right? And I got kids too. And we're like, yo, music is out of control right now. Like, what is this? Is damn important. And then we're like, wait a second. We used to listen to Little Kim, and her ass was talking about like the most ridiculous stuff ever. And so really, it's not that different at all. I think I'm just getting old, and parenthood has made me kind of like, oh, how dare they, or whatever. But like after a while, I was like, no, this is pretty consistent. This ain't new. But Jerv, original initial reactions to
holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'd heard everything, but it was crazy. I mean, it was dope. The beat was dope though. Like, I actually liked the beat. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, the video is awesome.
Yeah. There you guys, ladies and gentlemen, Jerv, hip hop purist. It was cool. The beat was awesome.
No, I did not want to watch it because of I just didn't want. I never watched Nicki's Anaconda video because I just know it's not.
Yo,
it's not for me.
Let me tell you right now.
But I'm not hating on it. Like, it makes sense.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Make the music.
It is absolutely for me.
I heard that's crazy too.
The song may not be for me. The video is 100% for me. B, initial reactions upon seeing this magnificent blue screen piece of art.
It was so fun. I enjoyed it. I love the visuals. I love the hair, the makeup, the outfits, how, they're wearing like luxurious lingerie, dressed up real dope. I love the choreography, the dancing, because we really don't get to see like female rappers like bust out, an 8 count. Like, they doing choreography.
Oh,
I thought that was dope too.
Well, that's
me. I'm as a dancer, I like the art of it.
Yeah, you're breaking down like, no. You see that 2-step right there in the pivot, like,
yeah, like. But I really liked how they interacted. They seem like they have a friendship, and it was just like a girl power type of movement, a moment for me. Well, so I liked it.
That's the crazy thing that it made me think about is I thought this is where I thought you were going originally. We never get to see female rapper collab tracks. You might be able to count 5 in rap history, right? And one of them was that I Want to Be Down remix that had...
Oh, that was fire.
That had
yes.
Queen Latifah.
Yo-Yo, yeah.
Yeah. One of them was Ladies Night. And that's about it. Like, rap. I'm not talking about Lady Marmalade. Or those don't count where it's singers and a rapper. I'm talking about 2 female rappers and no dudes in sight. It's the Bechdel test of rap. I don't think.
But you also have Megan, and she had her video with Nicki Minaj. Did you ever get a chance to see that visual?
I didn't see that one.
What's that called?
Yes, just for the listeners who might be curious.
For research purposes.
Yeah.
Hot Girl Summer, one of the biggest, songs of
yo, I hate
year.
Yo, I hated that song.
I'm gonna say a lot of stuff is not for me.
Oh, I have watched it.
When I say hated, it was annoying. It was annoying to me. YouTube straight up called me a lot. Nigga, you watch this shit.
Hey, that red line was showing really
all the way through. I was like,
horny nigga, horny ass nigga, man. You niggas is horny, dog. Like, I'm gonna just say this though. Like, I ain't getting nothing from it, but I respect it.
Hot Girl Summer or WAP?
Either. I ain't getting nothing from it.
Well, okay. So Trey, you were telling me earlier there was a controversy. What's the controversy?
Yeah. So like, these random ass, and you can tell when these cats are hopping in like because ever since George Floyd shit, you see the cats with the American flags in their fucking icons now. Like, it's just that thing, right?
Right.
And it's this one guy. He all of a sudden says, "I accidentally stumbled upon WAP, and Cardi B just set women back or whatever this stuff." And I'm just
I have the whole quote here.
Oh, please
I can read it to you.
Give it to us.
Go for it.
He said, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are what happens when children are raised without God and without a strong father figure. their new song, WAP, which I heard accidentally, made me want to pour holy water in my ears, and I feel sorry for future girls if this is their role model.
Pass me the Kleenex.
So here we go. First of all, I don't know how you accidentally heard that, my brother.
Right.
But then
4 minutes and 35 seconds of it. This is just sin.
Stay out of black.
I can't believe they're just, they don't have God.
Listen, I'm gonna put emphasis on this. Stay out of black conversations. Straight up. And I'll say it once again. Stay out of black conversations. It ain't for you. It ain't for you to click on. But again, this is a ladies' anthem, and I'm gonna let it be the ladies' anthem for sure. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my place to be like, oh, because all I thought about it when I finally, and that was the thing, YouTube got me. I'm sitting there, I done hit playlists and I'm posted, and I'm like, okay, this is actually the song. Cause I wouldn't probably listen to it audio wise.
I can't.
So the visual did it. Like, I caught it that way, and then obviously I seen like the screenshots of why they put old girl in there, and I'm like, okay,
let's
cool.
talk about that. Let's talk about that. Like, because people were upset, and I'm like, were you upset about anyone else in the video? Like
they just don't like her, bro.
I get it. Like,
That's
I get it. Like, I'm far from like
she's solid.
Mr.
I just feel like there are actually like talented women that they could have put in Kylie Jenner's role. To have her have this whole moment where there's no music playing. She's like walking down the hallway. But I mean, I would have loved to see someone like a Kelly Rowland, or, like, can we get somebody else?
I mean,
man, Kelly at the crib.
Like, here's the thing.
She at the crib. I don't think she putting on none of that right now.
And like, this is what I'll say. Like, we got to be fair on this, right? You're talking about someone who has a social media following that no matter what they do is going to light them in.
It was a strategy, bro.
I get it.
We talk
they did 23 million in 24 hours.
Pull back the curtain, right? Trey has been hosting a great podcast series that's produced by John Jerv called Growing Up the Same, right? Where he has a sit-down one-on-one interview with, all types of people, famous people, right? There's a reason why, like, no offense, but like, I'm not a guest on that show, right? Because the idea is we're trying to bring more listeners to this. People who aren't already here, plus people who bring a massive following with them, right? And I'm really excited about some of the guests that Trey has coming up because they are people with massive followings. Now, they're also interesting, and we want to hear from them, and I'd love to hear their stories, but the reality is it's not like me or Kev the Barber, or it's not like someone that nobody knows. That's part of this, man. Like, part of this is marketing and selling to an audience that you don't already have. And that's what they did. I'm not, like, people are acting like, to me, the Pepsi commercial was way more offensive. Like, that's when we need to get the pitchforks and, like, get them up out of here. But, like,
hey, they got off by, listen, that shit about to do quadruple platinum on Reels and TikTok. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, them little dirty Air Force white women gonna be on there grabbing their little knees and shaking ass. And that shit gonna go, them numbers gonna go astronomical, bro.
And they had plenty of talented women.
And everybody think they got WAP. Yeah. First of all, everybody ain't got WAP.
You wanna talk about that?
Let's be real. Who got the WAP? Who got the WAP? Who got the macaroni and cheese? And everybody ain't got the mac and cheese, baby. Let's just be real out here. Rob, don't make this go. Don't make this into a clip. But hey, I got a different brand now, baby.
Well, there's a reason why some girls don't have the WAP, and it really has a lot to do with her partner, whoever she's sleeping with.
Wow.
If he doesn't know how to get her to that point, they just want to skip the foreplay and go straight in. No, boo, it doesn't work like that.
Wow.
That's WAP 101 from B.
WAP 101.
You're welcome.
I thought you were going to go into dietary things. Like, oh, yes.
No.
She got to drink more water. We always want people to drink more water. Her pH might be low.
Absolutely.
Her pH might be very low.
But, you gotta just warm her up. You can't just skip foreplay and act like you supposed to just
can't be out here on Coco Road on Mario Kart.
Oh, man. Sometimes that can be fun, by the way.
Yeah. Yo, we be saying some sick stuff on here, man.
I know.
Love this
I
pod.
love this pod. I'm going to be sad the day it goes away.
When somebody says, yoink, can't be black anymore. Sorry.
Too black to continue. P-Valley coming up. But before we do that, B, you were in attendance at the versus battle, 2 Chainz versus Rick Ross. You had all the behind the scenes insights. Let's start with, did you watch it afterward at all? Or was it like, I experienced it and that's it?
I am going to. I haven't yet, but I will. Right. Yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering, like, would you even know what's something that people thought from watching that they didn't quite capture or didn't know the behind the scenes of?
So a lot of people, really wanted to hear certain songs from Rick Ross. One in particular, which I know is a lot of people's favorite, which is Rich Off Cocaine. And also his song with Kanye, Devil in a New Dress. So I've read the tweets before. People want to hear the entire guitar breakdown going into Rick Ross's verse and just let it all play out. However, on Instagram, you can only play a certain amount of seconds before your feed will get cut. The live feed will go. You know what I mean?
They don't have a deal with Instagram, like, yo, let it rock?
Nope.
Wow.
Nah, it's 2 minutes.
Wow.
Not even 90 seconds.
Wow.
You get a minute. You get a minute and a half, and you only get that 2 or 3 times before you can't even get back on.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay, all right. So that explains a lot there. What was the song selection process? Was it just a pool of songs and he was kind of like on the fly picking, or was it like scripted? We're gonna do this first, and then we're gonna come back with this.
So for Rose, it was always like, what song do I start with? Like, how do I bring the energy? Like, what do I do? And then after that, it was like, we had a whole list of songs where we had to we kind of battled them in a way to kind of knock certain things off the list. So there was a lot of songs that he wanted, but we were like, this would sound so much better. I think people would rather hear this instead. And he's all for it. It's like, okay, cool. If you know what the people want to hear, then I'll play that.
I was gonna ask, because
a lot of people, a lot of artists seem
Coach B. Coach B.
A lot of people
Coach B.
Look. So I am, I was co-producer
Get it
of
off,
this.
A&R.
Yeah.
Can you pick Nas beats next? Shit.
Don't do that.
Damn.
we gotta say
hey, you know I gotta give you shit.
Trey,
you know I gotta give you shit.
We gotta start a change.org petition on that one. Like, let B choose Nas beats, because
let B choose Nas beats.
You let Rose choose Nas beats.
Yeah,
he has the ear.
So
he has the ear.
That's fair. That's fair. Greatest ear in the game.
Within that context, though, does he know? Like, guys know what songs are popular, but does he know what songs really resonate? Because what you said right there made it seem like, in his mind, they're like his children. I love all my children, right?
Right.
It's hard to pick between one and the other, and you guys were kind of helping him with that, right?
Yeah, he gets it though, because he's a performer. So he goes and he does tours, and he knows what song that people really rock with. And I loved it. Like, I had he told me to write out my 20. I gave him my 20, and we just revised it a little bit, and we went to the studio so we could hear how sounds.
How much practice? How much practice was there?
Damn, it was that much practice?
It wasn't practice. It was just like, you know what? How long has it been since these guys have been able to do shows and travel and interact with the fans on this type of level? So it's kind of like, it's just a refresher, honestly. Yeah. It really wasn't practice. It was just like, what song do I start with? And I do want to play, this song at some point. And that was it. And so I do have a question for you guys. What did you think about the famous verse that was unreleased that he played?
Oh, it was cool. The Coon, the Terry Crews Coon.
Not that one. That's his new song.
Which one?
That's his new song, Pin to the Cross.
Oh, you talking about the unreleased joint?
Yeah.
I don't think I peeped that.
Cool. I mean, I didn't. I'm trying not. I'm trying not to be a music snob. I mean, right now, I really wasn't. I wasn't crazy about it. I heard it and I was like, okay, I ain't never heard this, but I respect it. My whole thing was I was just laughing because I was just like, yo, he with the extras right now. Like, it shouldn't have been. It wasn't a good matchup from the jump. 2 Chainz is very respected, right? Very respected, but it wasn't a good matchup. You feel me? Like, it didn't work in his favor. He could have played. He's on the songs that he played is on 70% on the radio. Again, Ross has that presence where he sold every song that he played. I'm talking about whether it was just different shit that was rocking. The nigga took his shirt off. This nigga had a wardrobe change. The nigga getting a massage. I'm like, nigga, relax. But I get it. And then like Chainz, being the type of nigga he is, he like kind of like not feeling a slight. But once them niggas start drinking, you can kind of see like, he like, all right, nigga, you acting like I ain't nice too. But Rose was such in the zone, bro. Like it was too far gone at that point. I don't think he could have did anything with it. And it was like, it was cool that they like, you know, had to like, yeah, you good, my nigga. Both of we nice.
You know, it's really just, it was supposed to just be a fun moment and just, it's not a battle. It's just like, let's just come and enjoy the music. But what I really enjoy from my view, I love Timbaland's response because he was there, he was on set, and he was just, every song that comes on, you see his whole facial expression change. I loved it.
How many people were there altogether?
Ooh, I'd say about 50.
And
we're all like masked up.
Well, yeah, no.
You know?
What was the spacing? I'm being an alarmist right now.
I'm not.
Did niggas have holes in their mask smoking the weeds?
No.
I'm being a dickhead. I ain't gonna be that. Now listen, let the women have fun.
But like, I guess my question is like, how many people were there who were like, I'm curious. These are all the things I want to know. Like, how many people does it take to put it on? I guess since they've gone to this format, which is they've moved away from the Nelly. Hey, it's a storm coming in. The internet's out or whatever. Like this format now works, but how many people does it take to get to that format?
Goodness, it doesn't take much. It was just
don't
that
they send the rigs and all that stuff for y'all? I mean, well, for them.
Well, for them, yeah. Of course, they make sure they're set up, but then you also have Apple Music's people there, so it's just different teams of people to make sure that everything is running smoothly.
Got you.
Also, underrated MVP, Sam Sneak. You don't have the good chemistry with your DJ, you're going to lose every time you go into them fucking battles. When Snoop Dogg did his, he had Battle Cat. You got to have a nigga that know when to play your shit. Because you might be feeling it. Your set list might not be the same thing. We be sitting there, Jerv, like, oh, I want to hear this. He's like, why you play that? But it's like, you have to strategically know. You got to play defense too. And it was like, Ross really wasn't playing defense, honestly, because he started off with that bomb. He bombed first. And it was like, and leaned into that shit. And he never really got into the fade with him. He just knocking my boy like Skinny Black nigga on what's the day, bro, getting this shit beat. And DJ was whooping Skinny Black ass and Hustlin' Flow.
I knew it was a rap.
Nah, nigga, you had Chainz 4-2, nigga.
No.
Remember that?
No.
Remember that?
No. I had Chainz. I had Chainz 4-2. Yeah, no. I'm saying I knew it was a rap once Chainz started off, and he was just like, "Oh shit, you gonna start off with that?" I got Chainz. The one thing I peeped was that Ross just has classics, right? Like he has classics, and he could do another verses and hit us with a whole nother.
I'm telling you,
20 songs that like
absolutely
niggas ain't even listened to yet.
He absolutely can.
Yeah, like there's not too many people in the game right now that I think can beat dude in a 20. He has the hits, and like but Chainz has like he has good songs. He just doesn't have.
You know what my observation was, to be honest with you, and I'm beginning to sense a theme when I'm looking at all of these versus nights, right? The person who has the most fun seems to be the person who wins every time.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely.
Jadakiss, Snoop, Ross, Bro,
Oh, Chainz looked like he had a little bit of fun too, though, bro.
So did DMX.
It was popping on Chainz.
So did DMX. So did DMX. But they didn't have as much fun as a competitor. The person who has the most fun seems to be the person who wins. Now, I don't know if that's because they're winning. They know they're winning, and so it's fun for them. Or it's just, I'm coming in here, I'm just trying to have a good time.
The nigga was getting a massage. That's fucking rude. I don't care.
Fun,
don't battle. Nigga, I would have lost my cool. I'm sorry. You don't listen. My nigga took off his, first of all. I'm gonna let it.
Shout him out. Shout him out, bro.
There you go, representing for the big dogs. Go for it, Teddy Bear season. Teddy Bear season, get it off.
Dog. Yeah, y'all be having y'all little fun. Everybody post their pics for the gram. A husky homie take the shirt off, and all of a sudden the internet go nuts.
It wasn't rude. No, I wasn't mad at it. Listen, it's somebody that like it. Go for it, Rose. But all I'm saying is, don't get no massage while you battling.
Why not?
Me,
no, that's the shit.
Don't get no massage while you battling me. That's rude.
It's not. What are you talking about? Like, this is an 8 Mile.
That's
like,
rude.
Come on, man. You're having fun. No, I liked it, man.
But if you go back and watch it and watch Chainz,
but that's
reaction,
what I'm saying. And that's why Ross won, because
that's why it was fucking rude.
Well, that's not why Ross won. Ross won because he just had fucking better
he
songs.
just had fucking hits, dog.
Chainz could have had. He could have had strippers on every song.
Hey, think about
workers
Mark
on every
McGuire.
song.
Think about Big Mac on them things. Every time he walked into the plate, that was Ross. That nigga was pointing at the motherfucking 400 feet. Like,
it's like Chainz would come back and get a 2-pointer, and Ross just come down and hit a dagger 3 every single time.
So Jerv, I'm glad that you brought up strippers on poles, because this week in P-Valley,
hey,
things are heating up. I only had a couple of questions, and I'm gonna let Trey lead the way after that. First of all, who had Keyshawn's baby daddy being white?
Nope, I did not.
I was just.
He looked like Tom Hanks' son.
Okay, not the one that the rapping one.
Chet.
Never mind.
Chet, yeah. And then the other question I had, and there are some things that people do that you might do that you understand about yourself as weird. Sometimes we don't understand. We're like, "What? Everyone's not doing this?" And sometimes yes, this is just me. So for me, the opening scene, my man sleeping on the couch butt ass naked, I can't sleep naked. I gotta have at least some drawers on. I don't care what I just did. Like, I will put on some drawers and then I'll go to sleep. And I don't know if this is a universal thing or I'm just a weirdo, but do y'all sleep naked at any point?
Yes.
Like sleep, not like a 10-minute nap. I'm talking about like post nap. I'm talking about like slept through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting past. I mean, I'm at my own crib. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't pay. I don't got no company, nigga. I don't got no kids. I'm getting past.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I've been working out over this quarantine. My shit cool. I hop up.
I just,
I'm cracking with that 65 air conditioner on.
Man, you guys are really pushing the limit on this AC stuff. No. Yo, I heard the other day, someone told me like they leave the AC on 60. I'm like, is your power bill?
And get the blood flowing.
Is your power bill like four figures? Are you putting a rack on your AC bill?
No. 67, 68 tops.
Under 100, baby. Under 100.
Know what I got? You know what my power bill is? Or no, not my power bill. Not my
$38.
Still what my thermostat is at?
73.
88.
77. And I dare somebody to say something.
Bro, that's the fucking heat.
Bro,
you might as well turn the heat on.
I know you over there musty as hell, bro.
No, I got no, man.
That nigga smelling like grilled onions from.
No, sir. I got my ceiling fans. We pulling every trick in the book. Now, in a hotel room, yeah, it's a meat locker in there. I'm turning it down to like 59 if I can. But like the moment I'm paying for this stuff, no. We're gonna do good, strong, like 76, 77, and we're going. And if you hot, turn on a fan or something like that.
No, man, I'm out the shower. I get in bed. After I dry off, I'm slide into the sheets. Wow.
But see, it's different for women, man. Like, like we got all types of. Because man, like
shouts to Dr. Teal's lavender rub.
if I get into the bed with my dick out and I roll the wrong way, there's all types of like mistakes that can happen.
Hey, you be too cozy, bro. You got shrimp meat out. You out here not hard. You just cozy. It's cool. You out here with the shrimp meat. But like, it's cool.
There's something about it, like it gets pinched. You know what I'm saying? Like the skin. You know what I'm saying? Like if your skin is just not
the shrimp, man.
What's a shrimp? What are you talking about, bro? Like the.
Listen, bro. I'm gonna throw. You the only nigga that's pinching out here, bro.
Hold on. The skin on your thing don't get caught up like underneath itself?
No, bro. No, because I'm sleeping in some soft ass sheets, dog. My shit cool.
It ain't about this.
I don't got no comforter. The comforter been put away since this motherfucker started hitting triples.
Oh no, you don't keep the comforter out?
No, comforter.
It's out.
No, bro, turn the AC on, get under the comforter.
My nigga, it's 190 degrees outside
right
now.
Your AC on fucking 53. Like you don't get cold and you sleeping naked, bro. Like
I'm cracking.
You don't get chilly.
I'm cracking out here with the cool gray sheets. Nigga, I'm out here like this. And I might, listen, I'm fucking cracking, dog. I don't care. I'm out here sleeping bomb. I might wake up talking like Phil Jackson, but it's cool. Scotty. AC be fucking your vocal cords up, nigga, when you wake up in the morning. Nigga be needing a glass of water. You think you got the Rona, nigga. Your nose plugged up and shit. You like, God damn.
Oh man!
But let's get back to P Valley, man. Sleeping butt naked 1-on-1 with a me.
Y'all crazy, man. Like I'm.
That nigga said pinching.
Yo, I'm like imagine my shirt was my skin. Like if you move too fast, this thing get caught like here.
Why you moving in your bed? Like
I roll around. I'm not sleeping like in. I'm not dead. I roll around. I move around. I need like everything protected.
Oh my God.
I can't just be letting things on. My balls start coming up around under my kneecap and stuff. Like, what's going on?
So, man, welcome to, Pussy Valley, the segment with Bethany, Jerv, and Amin, and myself. Well, we pick up from Mercedes going to the Bing. She ain't no cheese. Can't nobody bail her out. Nothing. Ain't nothing going. So she getting walked through this motherfucking hallway with these. And that's crazy because they got the jail unisex as hell. They had one chick in there jammed the fuck up. She in there with like 90 niggas.
That wasn't a chick.
Nah, but I thought she was yeah. I thought she was transsexual.
I don't want to put heteronormative gender or whatever.
Oh damn! I might have just been super insensitive.
There's a reason why
you got canceled, nigga.
Right,
canceled.
It was nice knowing you, Jerv.
I'm out.
Be mindful, nigga. Anyway, back to the story. It was jam packed in there. My lack of observation, because I just was watching it briefly, looked up, seen a weave. My bad. All right. Anyway. That motherfucker look like a Royal Rumble in there, right? That's one thing. Also, M.I. Cricket Letter is addicted to social media, addicted to her new fame. She live in bubble fuck, and now she happy off of 90 views, which is cool. Hey.
I was like, what?
It is what it is.
It wasn't even...
Right?
It's not even on her account. It's somebody else's account who's getting the views. I'm like, what?
She don't understand it in a small town mind, right? So then, Lil Murda, his song going up. He viral. His shit going up. He throwing money. He making shit happen. All this other shit, right? Cool. They finesse old girl who offered divorce settlement. That's tricky too, because I wasn't feeling that.
Did they finesse her?
They did. I mean, she left the bag.
They ain't finesse her, bro. She fucked up. She got too drunk at the strip club.
She played herself.
She had an entire bag out.
And she also also told her girls, like, I'm about to blow this. I'm about to blow this money right here. But I think she was just waiting on Mercedes.
Wait,
there you go.
I got a question.
Shouts to loving Mercedes.
They're shady as shit because that had to be over 5 racks that she just picked up right there that she just came up on. She couldn't bail. She couldn't bail. Damn.
No,
they was just gonna let
Mercedes was talking. Mercedes was
B.
talking all that smack, talking about
all that. Got humbled. Shouts to the
what are
pussy
you doing
god.
with your money?
Got her
Why are
outta
you not
here.
stacking? Why are you not saving? What's your exit plan? You gonna do this forever? She really played them. It's like, oh, okay, well, I just came up on something and I'm gonna keep it and I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna stack it.
Hey, listen, young people, you listening, get a savings account, baby. All right. And don't get that money to your mama, no matter how much you love her. Okay? Because that ain't gonna reduce your
unless
sin.
she's trying to give your money back to everybody you got the money from. In which case, give her a little bit of the money.
There you go. So we get that part. MI is addicted. We got Mercedes in jail. Uncle Clifford is in a real, Lil Murder's trying to have a real openly relationship with Uncle Clifford. He letting them know the real, like, look, we can't do this. They treating it like that one show that we covered. What was it, Hollywood?
Yeah.
You can't be out here, especially in the deep South, trying to, have a, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm glad they did that, because the first few episodes, part of me is like, everyone seems to be real cool with the transgender man who runs the strip club. Like in a small town in the South, I'm like, that's not very realistic. With a sheriff and everybody's just cool with it. So this was the first time they acknowledged, like, that's not how the world works.
Yeah, it's not how it really works. They didn't create some fantasy, like it's still being frowned upon. And but you kind of get it too, where they say some rude shit every time he walk into like an establishment or something. And sometimes he has to dress up like a man, in certain situations. So, that was interesting. But then you got, obviously, Autumn Night, a.k.a., what's her name? Something Savage. Lakeisha Savage?
Lakeisha Savage.
Lakeisha Savage. That's a hard-ass name, by the way.
It is.
The jig is up for her and funneling money. But now we're going to get to the part where she recruited a new partner in crime. But Lakeisha Savage, her jig is up. They did the hurricane relief that allowed her to, manipulate the system. But now that is over. And it all plays into, the scenario. But then there's still trouble at the Pink. They got 14 days before foreclosure. But the money, the bag is still coming for a couple girls. And then obviously we get to see, what's her real name? Mississippi real name?
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn's real baby daddy, right? Ooh. Amin mentions it. We did not expect this man to be the same color as milk. So shout outs to him. And the fact that he's been abusive, not shout outs to him. And I thought old boy was going to kill him. Genuine face.
If there was ever time to do it, he talk all that shit.
Ain't none of your friends' business.
I'm pretty sure he don't want to deal with all the extra shit, and he like his job more, freedom.
Man,
but
2 chops.
Long story short, while she gets her kid, she stumbles upon and catches Uncle Clifford and Little Murder making out. Now, I don't know if he was about to spit during that time, but they stopped.
Right? Look, maybe, it seems like Little Murder wanted to go public with their little affair, relationship, whatever. Uncle Cliff might have that.
So does that make him? Does that make him like the first
openly
gay rapper? Successful openly gay rapper?
Who?
Huh? Would that make Little Murder the first openly successful gay rapper in the South? If he would have came out with that, or is his music going to be felt that way? The same?
I don't know, because once he realized that someone was watching them,
it all switched up. The whole cool got up out of his walk. That's like being with a joint that you ain't supposed to be with. You holding her hand, and the homie hit the corner. You like, hey, that nigga might tear his motherfucking rotator cuff trying to let that hand go.
hey, Trey. Then you gotta kind of like immediately like scratch your eye or something.
What happened? What happened? Oh man, there's something in my eye. That nigga wait and grab her hand again. You a sick nigga, man. Hey, but it was a lot to unfold here. The mom is trying to preach to the entire jail cell.
She's terrible.
She had everybody capped up. Mercedes goes and says, "You dead to me." But enough of me. I want to hear B. What was your perspective on watching this episode?
I'm gonna just say this first. My prediction was that Autumn Night was going to save the day. She came through with that money, and I knew that it was going to have to be some sort of turning point for them having some sort of not a friendship, but they have to get along for something. But the fact that she came through, like, I still want to know. Well, I'm guessing now she did it because she kind of used it as an opportunity to recruit her. Like, you know what? I need her so I can send, transfer some more money. But I was wondering, like, is Mercedes going to use this money to somehow open up a dance spot somewhere else and continue on with her dream? Or is she going to go back to stripping eventually? I'm curious to see how this all plays out. I really enjoyed this episode, and I loved the story. And my favorite part was when Uncle Cliff walked into the barbershop. It was something so dope about Uncle Cliff being so unapologetically Uncle Cliff. Like, wherever he goes, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the wig, you're going to get the nails, the makeup, the outfit. I'm coming in however I want. Just like when he showed up on your boy on the tractor, getting the cotton or whatever. He had on the whole, like, Southern Belle corset, like the whole outfit.
With the umbrella.
With the umbrella, like a costume. Like, I love how unapologetic Uncle Cliff is, just exactly who he wants to be. I love it.
Yo,
I don't know what pronouns, Uncle Cliff goes by, but yeah.
They haven't made that clear, right? Like, they don't.
But Mercedes did refer to Uncle Cliff as she.
What was the funniest part of this episode to y'all?
The funniest?
Yeah.
When she realized that the police officer or whatever he was the one dude that she took his wallet.
Jesse?
Jesse? That had me crying. She was like, Jesse?
I like the drunk girl singing Lil Murda song throughout the entire episode.
Nobody's that drunk for that long, though.
Yeah,
also,
she was cooked.
What the hell was she drinking?
Also, you gotta get. Also, nobody passes out in the middle of the club, and the security genuinely is just gonna be like, "Well, she's sleeping pretty well. I guess I'll just let her there." And also, no establishment that serves alcohol in the world will send you.
It's gonna let her get that lit.
Yeah. Not even that. No, they won't let her drive off. They will take your keys because they know they can lose their liquor license. Oh, I guess he doesn't have a liquor license, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The funniest part for me was a tie between when Uncle Clifford was at the police station and he's clicking his nails, and the cop was just like, "Don't do that.
Don't do that with your nails."
It was just so nonchalant. And then the other thing was when they saw the foreclosure notice and they're all like talking like, what does this mean? And Uncle Clifford runs up like, oh my God, is Mercedes dead? I was like, yeah, man. I laughed my ass off. Like, cause he's like, oh, no, Mercedes. I'm like, damn, man. Because it's always
janky promoter, man. He was a jank. He knew the jig was up. He just said that was to get the heat off his back for sure.
You think so? No, I think it's one of those.
Nah,
things.
He was capped up. He knew. Everybody was looking with their arms crossed, and they had to get that off. And he had to be dramatic, for sure.
Jerv, what you got?
I was when she when Uncle Clifford passed out. That was mine. Like it was just.
Oh yeah.
It was so over the top. Like Uncle Clifford couldn't just react to it. It had to be the and like legs go up in the air.
The legs went up in the air.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Montavious, that's Autumn Night's husband, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Gotta be.
What was dripping from him? Is that sweat?
Nah,
or blood?
No,
he
was
was
a tear,
crying.
bro.
It's supposed to be a tear. He was fake concerned. Crying. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I thought that shit looked a little oily.
Did they show him though?
No, and that's what I wanted to say.
Side of his face.
The last scene where he's on his computer, but he's in the shadows, always seeing his hand. I said he reminded me of Dr. Claw and Inspector Gadget. I'm like, don't make this a mystery. Just show us who the hell it is. It's not like we know anybody anyway.
Right.
It's not like if we see his face, we're gonna be like, oh, this is why. She must have done blah blah blah. Yeah. Unless he's got like a crazy scar on his face or something.
Maybe she fucked him up. Man.
Nigga face gonna look like the Thing. That nigga shit gonna look like a kneecap, nigga, after you been kneeling too long.
Omar.
Or ashy. Just ashy.
I fucking have so many creases in his shit.
You said Omar from The Wire.
Yeah, $1.50.
Oh man. All right. Do we have any predictions?
Let's roll them out. I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, B. Go ahead, Kevin.
So I think Autumn Night's husband, whoever this man is, this mystery man, because he apparently has all this account info up on his computer. He's about whatever scam, scheme, whatever Autumn Night and Mercedes got going on, he's about to mess them up big. And I think somebody might die.
The next episode is the last episode, right? We said it was 6 episodes this season.
No, so I think one of y'all looked it up and it said it's
12.
8. No,
it is not. It's definitely not 12.
It's 8 episodes and we're on episode 6. But I don't know. We got to check because I don't know if they're going to actually go 7 to 8 right away. Because when I look at how I'm watching it, it only gives the first 6 episodes. It doesn't say anything about 7 or 8. So I don't know if that means they didn't tape it like some of this COVID stuff.
No idea. I don't think the next episode is last. I think we still got a little bit more story to go.
They can't introduce Homie like that and then you know what I mean, just end it, right? They can't do that.
They can do whatever they want.
I mean, I know they can, but like I was saying, like y'all can't leave us out here like that. Like y'all got to give us something.
I mean, what's your prediction?
My prediction is that something bad's gonna happen to the mama.
Okay.
I think something bad's about to happen to her because she tried to finesse the whole like Jesus thing, and everybody's on her side, and what's her name said she dead to her, and I think that's foreshadowing that something bad is actually going to happen to her.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, when Gidget asked Autumn Night, she was like, "What if somebody took all of your money? What would you do?" And she was like, "I'd kill them."
I'd kill them. Yeah.
So. That goes with the whole, like, you know, I think somebody might get hurt next episode. Like, someone might die.
My prediction, the mom gonna die. Uncle Clifford gonna figure out the 14 days shit, find a way to finesse, whether it's him running his mouth or getting a hush order to get some extended time, breathing room to not lose the club. Autumn Night teaches Mercedes how to finesse, you know, and they get their little plan going. She gets to scrape a little bit for her, scrape a little bit for her. I think Mercedes gonna get greedy.
Oh.
Can't trust everybody when it comes to money.
By the way, how about Mercedes not actually having a stripper name?
Yeah, it was funny. She just embodied that. So you can find her. If you went to school with her, you can Facebook her and find her for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Black Opinions Matter. As always, like, subscribe, do all the things that the metrics make us look good. You know, share it with a friend. And be on the lookout for new episodes of Growing Up the Same coming out this week. Trey, do we know who the guest is yet?
Dahi.
There you go. And all the other podcasts on the Count the Ding Network for B, for Big Jerv, for Blk Tray, and for producer Rob Lopez. This is Amin Hassan. Stay black, y'all.